Alright. Let's look at this shit. El Schedule. The mix-ups is the first event. It's a master event though. Oh, do you guys know the new rules, right? For the format, right? So check it out. Master Plus is Evo. That's it, right? And then there's Masters events, then there's Challengers, and then the new events are Dojos. Dojos are just kind of like locals, right? Each local has a threshold. So if you have 16 or more, you get Dojo 16 plus, 32 or more, Dojo 32 plus, etc. So the most you can get for winning a dojo is 100 points if your dojo event has 96 plus people. So that's pretty good, right? That's actually pretty sick. I like that idea. Challengers and Masters are the same, but Evo's back in on the tour as a Master Plus, which is crazy to look at now because if you think about it, last year Lil Majin got 3rd place. That's 300 points. He never got 300 points for last year because Evo was not an event. So those 300 points were non-existent. Had Evo been on the Tekken World Tour, he would have had 300 more points, which is equivalent to winning a Masters, which is crazy. So yeah, that's the new thing. And the other thing too now is that you can only your total score is only your top 3 of Masters, top 3 of Challengers, and top 3 of Dojo, or top 4 of Dojo events. So the maximum amount of points you can get is 2,000. If you were to win 4 Dojo 96s, win 3 Challengers, and win 3 Masters, including Evo, which is 550, not 300. So that's pretty crazy, right? So that actually incentivizes doing well at tournaments and not just spamming tournaments and being close to qualifying, a la Dimeback last year. Remember Dimeback? His tournament, he was 20th place, right? He was right outside the rankings, but I don't think he placed higher than like, well, he got 2nd in SCR, right? But other than that, he didn't really do well in any tournament. He was like he was borderline, like he was always getting like 1 or 2 points or like 5 points or something. Yeah, and then he would make a little run in top 8s at various tournaments, but nothing like defining, right? Had he had won SCR, it would have been like, all right, he deserves a spot in the top 20, but unfortunately he didn't, you know, and that's what kept him out of the tour. With this new way they're doing it now, I don't think if Dimeback does the same exact thing last year as he does, and he does that this year, I don't think he comes even close to making the top 20. So that's a big deal. And these dojo events are also pretty big, right? Because you can win up to 4 of them. I know Wednesday Night Fights is going to be a dojo for SoCal and NorCal. They're going to have a NorCal Wednesday Night Fights. I also know, I think they want to do one in Fighting Tuesdays. It was probably designed to combat overextending on travel. It's not, of course, it's not just for Dimeback. I didn't say that, but it was an example, right? The idea here is less about quantity and more about quantity. You know, quantity and more about quantity. That's just two-way. Less about quantity and more about quality. How about not just saying quantity, 2 different words? All right. Yeah, Rangchu didn't win an event, but he placed high enough in multiple events. I think he probably would have qualified. Because he was like top 8 and he got a lot of seconds. He got like I think a handful of seconds, thirds, and fourths. Those are things that that Dimeback never did. Right? Dimeback might have, right? But it wasn't. I don't think he was consistent enough. So this actually, like, what it really does, it hurts the players that are like always in the discussion of winning but never actually winning anything, right? The stage selection rule, right? For the first game, it's random. For each game afterwards, the player who lost the previous game may choose the stage if they have not changed their character, or if they change the character, then they gotta go random. I love that rule. I've always been someone that has said this, I mean, because this whole random select rule has never been like it's always just been the way it's been. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like in America, we've always said random select. We've never given a reason why. It's just, yeah, random select, whatever, you know. But even back then, when I was still playing and like it was still random select, I was thinking to myself, like, they should let loser choose stage, right? Especially in Tekken, because in Tekken, stages are pretty crucial, right? And so the stage rule change only happened obviously because of one Jimmy J Tran tweet, and then they brought it like that, right? And so now, and then Eris complained like hell about the rule, and so they switched it to this, which I love. I know for a fact though that the guys that were you know, the guys that kind of like decide the rules and whatnots, I know for sure that they're not all that excited, or they don't really love the idea of the losers choosing stages. And you know, the idea is that like the best players should win no matter what given circumstances, blah blah blah, right? But I don't know, I feel like you got to give the loser, you know, some incentive to keep playing, right? If like let's just say like, you know, for example, I'm playing against Kudons, right? And Kudons blows my back out in the first game and makes me feel like a complete jobber. And then if we go to random select and I end up, or if we go to stage select, right? And I don't get to choose a stage, so I just got to hit the random select button and it goes to an infinite stage, I'm like, for me, that's like death. Like, I don't, like, the second game to me is like worthless, right? But if I were able to choose a stage of my own liking, then maybe I might be more incentivized to feel like, all right, I got this, you know, or all right, I can win this. And I'll be honest, even if it was an infinite stage, I wouldn't care. I would play it. But this is just a, you know, my theory. And plus, this is the way they do it in the team tournaments in Japan. So it's just something that I've always thought, that the loser should be able to choose a stage, because there's really no advantage given to the loser in the current well, in the previous rule set. So this is good. Anything else interesting? Pauses, restarts, stalling. Stalling or excessively delaying the game or match may result in a game or forfeit at the discretion of tournament organizers. Hey. Damn, I gotta remember this. 8.3.3. T.O. Rule 8.3.3. He's stalling. Coaching. They don't actually, this coaching rule, they almost never ever enforce it unless they play on stage or like during a top 8. Deliberately giving or receiving advice to/from any other persons during a game or match is not allowed and may result in penalties for both parties. They don't enforce any of that shit. Not necessarily saying that like you can't give advice or you can give advice. Like if you're just in the crowd and yelling, "He's ducking!" That's like advice, right? And no, like, but like they can't stop you from saying that, you know. Dress code? Sponsorships. Players have the ability to acquire sponsorships. Do they? I don't have that ability. However, sponsors or content falling under the following categories may not be displayed during official tournament play. Brands and categories that have been granted exclusive sponsorship rights for the league or tournament by Twitch or the tournament organizers. Huh? Religious programming, political matters? Oh. 900 numbers? What's wrong with 900 numbers? Oh, damn, I can't get sponsored by Pornhub. Habit-forming drugs, drug-related paraphernalia? Tobacco products. Herbal remedies or miracle products? What up, Catalyst? Any adult-oriented products or services, including adult-oriented pay-per-view programs and male enhancement products. Oh. Fuck. Damn, I gotta... These emails that I've written to Spice Channel and Extends, I gotta take those back. Whack. All right. So here's the payouts. So for every Masters, wow, they're giving away 5,000 only for Evo and every other tournament. That kind of sucks. I would think Evo. Well, Evo's probably gonna have more money anyways. I wonder if there'll be extra money on top of that though. Challengers. Extends don't work for legs? Oh, fuck. Man, nothing's working. Tekken World Tour Finals, 30k for first. That's pretty sweet. Let's look at the schedule though. So the mix-ups first. That's a master event. Northwest Majors being on the tour is pretty sweet. Seattle's always had a good scene. I might consider going to Northwest Majors. It seems like a reasonable tournament for me to try to attend. So I might eyeball that one. Northwest Majors. Head Stompers in Sweden. Rocks and Roll Korea. Goyang. Battle Arena Melbourne. Combo Breaker I'm obviously going to. No question about it. Electric Clash? I never heard of this tournament. I wonder if that's a new tournament. Electric Clash. Taipei Major. It's Challenger. Fighting Games Challenge in Poland. Tiger Uppercut. Bangkok gets 2 events on, so they get the finals and they get Tiger Uppercut. But their event is still just Challenger. CEO again. I think I want to go to CEO again this year too. CEO was really good last year. I enjoyed CEO a bunch last year. I thought CEO was really well done. Combo Breaker and CEO I think were both very, very good tournaments. So I would suggest that if you guys have the opportunity, especially if you guys can only go to one, I would suggest Combo Breaker. As a player, Combo Breaker, but as a spectator, CEO is really good too. Osaka Challenger, it's a new one. So they have an Osaka Challenger. So now Japan's gonna have 2 events. That's pretty sweet. VS Fighting, Evo, the big dog. Do I have to register for Evo? Have I registered? I should probably register soon. Florida's too hot. Yeah, it was pretty hot last time. But you know, why the fuck do I need to go outside to Daytona? Daytona sucks. I'm not there for Daytona, I'm there for CEO. All I did was stay in my hotel room, eat Uber Eats, and then Uber to the venue, and then stay at the venue, and then Uber back to my hotel, and then eat more Uber Eats. I think I ate with Gutex over there. Yeah, I think me, Rip, Tasty Steve, Gutex, we just went to a barbecue spot that was like down the block. Collision 2019 in Peru? What? So South America has 2 events too. In Peru, and then also TXTs in Argentina. Wow, this is gonna be a big one though, because Peru is definitely like I would say Peru is like the top dog when it comes to South American Tekken. So that's gonna be a big one. FV Cup in Malaysia. Summer Jam. Ooh, I've never been to Summer Jam. If things go well, up until this point, I might consider going to Summer Jam too. I've never been. It's in New Jersey? I've heard the only good thing about New Jersey is Manhattan. Cape Town Showdown in South Africa. That's gonna be sick. In South Africa? Where is Cape Town? That's cool. Kumite in Texas, KIT. Hey. Texas Showdown was a qualifier last year, so this year it's gonna be Kumite in Texas. Yeah, I heard about the South Africa tournament before it was announced, and I heard it was in a really nice area. I heard Cape Town's super nice. Clash of the Olympians in Athens, Greece. That sounds sweet. I've never been to Europe. I've never been to Europe. I've never been to Africa, and I've never been to Australia. So those are the 3 continents that I still gotta like plant my feet on. Manhattan is in New York. That was the joke. That was the joke. Rev Major. I want to go to Rev Major too, though. I've never been to the Philippines, and that sounds fun. And Rev Major has always been a really sick tournament too. SoCal Challenger. Ew, I didn't know about this though. SoCal Challenger, I did not know about. I love it though. I love it because number one, it's not SCR, right? So it's just a Tekken event, and it's only 2 days minimum or maximum or whatever. Fuck it, I don't care. It doesn't need to be 3 days. NorCal regionals, having Tekken on Friday and then putting top 8 on Sunday. Nah, fuck that. This SoCal Challenger, lovely. I love it. Berlin Tekken Clash, I heard about that. Tokyo Masters. Tokyo Masters is going to be a big one too. TXT, man, it's a challenger this time. Both years that I've gone, I went with the past 2 years, they were master events, but this time they're challengers. I think it makes sense though, because number one, it's in Argentina, and number two, they have the Peru one. Where's the Peru? Collision 2019. So I think that's a good idea. I think it'll still incentivize the South American guys to go, and it might incentivize other players to go too, if they haven't already like done well in challengers. And I'm sure Argentina's lovely. Both times I've been to TXT, they were always in great places. Colombia last year was fucking amazing. And Chile 2 years ago was great. The big one though. Rocks and Roll Dubai. A Masters event in Dubai. That is sick. How fucking long does it take to fly from here to Dubai? That's sick. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. And DreamHack Atlanta? I think that's a good choice too, because DreamHack's always kind of had Tekken, right? So you have DreamHack Atlanta. Even though we missed final round, we'll still have an event in Atlanta, right? And then the finals. That's pretty big too, considering like it did seem that West Coast was not going to have that many events, but we still have our SoCal Challenger, and then our NorCal Regionals kind of just moves up more, and then we just have Northwest Majors, which I think, for me personally, I would much rather have it in Northwest Majors than NCR. So, there's really not much to complain about here, right? Like, I think this is a pretty solid, I just don't know, like, I actually don't know the split between, like, all the regions. but I think this is a pretty solid ass lineup. And then plus you have to remember there's a bunch of dojos. There's gonna be a bunch of McDojos everywhere. Will there be online tournaments again? I don't think so. I think they replaced the online tournaments with the dojos, which I fucking love. I love that. The online tournament was whatever, right? But the idea of the dojo is less about like, hey, you know, big dog, get over here and win these points. It's more about like, hey, look, you know, there's an event here. Come check it out. Support the local, and maybe you'll make some friends, and then come through some more. You know, I think the dojo idea is kind of twofold, right? It's one to help those that can't travel gain points, so that like, let's say someone, in theory, right? Let's say a guy from Peru, right? Let's say he does the dojos. They have a dojo in Peru. Let's say he wins 4 of them. So he maxes out on points there, right? He does well at Collision 2019. Let's say because of that now, he's kind of in the running to qualify for the tournament. That incentivizes him now, after Collision, to maybe think like, oh shit, what's coming up? Maybe I can actually qualify, you know? So he might like look ahead, think like, all right, maybe I might try to go to SoCal Majors. Maybe I might try to, I definitely will go to TXT because that's around me, you know. But then it's like, maybe I can try to go to DreamHack Atlanta or something. Maybe I can try to find ways to actually travel and, you know, qualify for this tournament because I have the points. You know, I have the things that everyone needs, which is points. So the idea of the dojo, I think, is super sick. I was a little bit skeptical at first. I'm still kind of am. I guess it's more the cynical side of me thinking like, I hope there's no one that tries to like you know, cheat the system in a way where like they make it so that the dojo can like, you know, somehow someone can sneak their way into the top 20 by like kind of, you know, cheating a little bit. But overall, I'm not too worried about that. I don't think that it should be a huge issue, but it might. We'll find out later. I'm starting to think though that 20 players is not enough for the finals. My big concern now, because you're actually limiting the number of events that count towards your points. That like, let's say Ni dominates early on, right? He wins 4 dojos real fast, wins 3 masters, and goes to like 2 challengers and does enough, and he's like, I'm good, you know? So he doesn't go to any more tournaments. And the next player does that, right? And it's like, it kind of trickles down to the point where I think by the 20th player, like, there might be like 5 or 6 players that are like tied for 20th or 19th or whatever. So, I don't know what's gonna happen. It'll be sick though. If they have 32 to finals, then we need more money. Yeah, probably. You probably have a point. I don't know, but 20 is a good number though. I've always liked that because I love the finals format too. The finals format I think is much more exciting the way the Tekken World Tour does it than like a standard like double elimination 32-man bracket or something. I find the group thing, you know, choosing your groups and all that kind of shit. I find all of that like build up to the bracket. I find all of that shit like so interesting. Damn. Ah, here we go. Brand new for 2019 are dojo tournaments, an effort to promote competition everywhere Tekken players can be found. Tekken World Tour is establishing a new opt-in tournament category. That's the key, the opt-in. I wonder how many tournaments will opt in and how many will actually get accepted. I hope there's a lot that get accepted. The main thing about this is that I want to see the dojos for like those regions that you almost never see, right? Like the Philippines, Peru, Venezuela, Dubai, India. You know, I want to see the Saudi Arabia. I want to see Pakistan. I want to see all those places. Because like to find those matches, they're out there. If you know who to look for, you can find them. But if you have a somewhat of a title behind it, right? Like knowing that, okay, I'm watching this shit because it's, you know, it's the best players in Pakistan right now playing, and their points on the line that go to the Tekken World Tour. That in itself is already more incentive to watch it versus like, okay, here's the grand finals of this Pakistan tournament that we don't know anything about. We don't know who these players are. We don't know how much they're winning, if they're winning anything at all. We don't know. We don't even know if they're good or not unless you watch it to recognize that they're good, right? So now there's at least there's a name behind it, so it gives you an excuse to actually watch it. You can only get 400 dojo points, and that's only if too. Remember, 400 dojo points is max if you can enter 4 dojos that have 96 players or more and win them all. That's pretty hard, you know. It's not easy. A dojo that has 96 players might be more than some challengers. You know what I mean? I wonder how many tournaments can get 96 plus dojos. Wednesday night fights, like we average, I would say Wednesday night fights averages around 32. It can be more or less depending on the week or whatnot. But I think that knowing that it's a dojo event, right? And so like you probably have players from San Diego, players from Vegas. You probably have more players than normal. Like from SoCal that would probably want to show up. I think a good Wednesday night fights dojo could hit 64. It could hit 64. It'd be hard though. Dojos can be weeklies. Well, you can only run one dojo a week or a month. Sorry, but it can be, you know, like Wednesday night fights. We could say like, okay, every last Wednesday of each month is a dojo, you know, so people know now, okay, so I know that now this last Wednesday of March or April or May or whatever is now a dojo, so I gotta practice for that one, you know. Man, that's crazy though. I'm loving this new format. This new format I think is so sick. I don't think has anyone had any complaints about this format though? Like, is there any like glaring issues that anyone has found? You know, like on Twitter, it's just all great vibes and shit. Like everyone's like, yeah, Tekken, woo, money, hell yeah. It's just, you just have those few assholes in the chat where like, it's not enough money though. Womp womp. Shut up. Right? We're not about that. See, this whole idea, the whole idea of this isn't necessarily to... Let me tell you guys this too. This is a dirty little secret, right? The only reason why dojos even exist is just to get Jimmy to fucking go to a local every once in a while. It's just to get Jimmy to leave his house and to go fucking play in a NorCal tournament every once in a while. He's not even he's not even gonna struggle. He's gonna win easily, right? Which is also the reason why he doesn't go to locals. He doesn't go to locals because he told me himself, because Jimmy said he went to a NorCal local one time when the game first came out, picked random select, won easily, and then he never went back. So this incentivizes Jimmy to go to those locals, pick random select, and win. And they're gonna have another LCQ. Say what? Whoa. What? They changed it up. So I mean, this is a far first of all, they put 2 T's at the beginning of this the top 3 ranked players in the leaderboard, and the winner of the last chance qualifier will get put into 4 separate groups. That wasn't what it was like last time. because the last chance qualifier chose last. So winning the last chance qualifier gets you seeded away from the top 3 players from the leaderboard. It's pretty wild. I don't know if I like that, to be honest. The next highest players from the leaderboard will, in order of ranking lowest to highest, choose which group they will be placed in. A player may choose a group such as their selection does not create a group with... What? A player may choose a group such as their selection does not create a group with 2 more players than any other group. Oh. And the Twitch reserves the right to reassign players to different groups in its sole discretion. That sentence is odd. Yeah, the groups have to be filled evenly. That's... I don't know if I necessarily like that either. But I guess the idea for that... Oh... Because before, so last time they hid the 4 seeds, right? So the top 4 players that were seeded separately, they didn't reveal them until all the groups were filled out. I think this time they're gonna show the 4 players. So what this prevents is, like, let's say the LCQ guy, let's say for this purpose, right? In the top 3 is Knee, Kudons, and Lohai, right? Let's say those are the top 3 ranked players. And then the guy that won last chance qualifier, let's say, is Rickstah, right? You put those 4 people in the 4 groups, and then now the next person gets to choose a group. So obviously they're choosing my group, the Rickstah group, right? Then the next person would go up, and they're most likely going to choose the Rickstah group. Then the next person goes up, and they would, you know, if they were allowed to, they would choose the Rickstah group, you know. But the way it's worked out is that now it balances out a little bit better. I don't know if I like that, to be honest. Personally, I just don't like the last chance qualifier being a seed. I think the LCQ winner should just be like a dude, right? The last person to choose. I like the way they did it last year. I like the way they did it last year more than this, but they're always trying to change it up a little bit. So I think this is, I mean, it'll still provide. It's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna be like oh my god, the tournament sucks type of thing. I think it'll be fine. Whoa. During a tournament, players may not bring, use, or wear any headset, earbuds, microphones, or any other player equipment other than those approved by the tournament organizers. Player equipment that is suspected by the tournament organizers of providing an unfair competitive advantage will not be approved for use. Huh. So I'm gonna be like every time I see Peeling wearing those stupid Beats by Dr. Dre headphones, listening to fucking Twice and Madonna, I'm gonna be like, T.O., his music's too loud. Make him take off the headphones, and then I'll fart in his ear. That'll show him. Anyways, I hope you guys have a good one. I'm out of here. Take care of yourselves. Don't do anything I wouldn't do and all the other shit. You know. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.